Hi, it's Amy from Cakes with Faces. I hope you're enjoying my new series of Japan travel videos, but I didn't want to neglect Japan news because there are so many new things. Today we've got some new games arcades in Tokyo, some bars with a view and lots of pop-up theme cafes. First, you might remember from a previous Japan news video they were building a new skyscraper in Shinjuku called the Tokyu Kabukicho Tower. Well, that is now finished and it's open. It's the largest hotel and entertainment complex in Japan. It's got hotels, a cinema, a theatre, a live music venue, and the view from the bar is stunning. It's called Jam 17 and it's on the 17th floor. It has an outside terrace. It's a restaurant and a bar, so you can go to eat or just for a drink, or you can go for ice cream with an amazing view of all the skyscrapers of Shinjuku. The same complex, Tokyu Kabukicho Tower, also has a Yokocho-style food hall. I've been noticing more and more of these opening up recently. They're heavily stylised, themed food halls with neon lights and retro decorations. It does look like a fun place to go for a drink, but I do hope the quality of the food is good as well. Usually the food in most places in Japan is excellent, but sometimes at places like this, what you're paying for is the theming and the atmosphere more than the food itself, and it does kind of look like it's made for tourists, but tell me what you think in the comments. Now recently I've also seen lots of new style games arcades, like the new Bandai Namco cross stores, like the one in Ikebukuro that opened in March, that combine arcades with shops. And there's one of these in the Tokyu Kabukicho Tower as well. It's called Namco Tokyo and it opens in April. It has UFO catchers, gachapon, a one-piece card game shop, Ichiban Kuji, which is where you buy a ticket and you get a surprise prize. But the most unique part is it combines a games arcade with a bar, which seems like a great idea. Or maybe not if you have a few drinks and feel overconfident and try and win all the prizes on the UFO catchers. It's called Music and Play Lounge Asobi Notes. There are animated AI DJs playing music from games. They serve beer, shochu, cocktails and mocktails. You can get ice cream parfaits until late at night. There's this special one, the Pac-Man parfait. Look at how detailed that is. Or if you feel more like something savoury, there's a cafe that sells tinned food in cans. Everything is in a can. It's called Candiful. Looks delicious. There's also a new arcade in Akihabara. It's run by Bandai Namco, which is the same company that opened that one in Kabukicho. They've been opening up so many new places recently. It's right by Akihabara station, and this building was an arcade before. It was that red Sega arcade on the corner. It opened in March. I was actually there the very day before it opened, but I didn't realise, so I saw it with the shutters down. There wasn't a soft opening for this one. It's actually Bandai Namco's first arcade in Akihabara. It's got all the usual things you'd expect. There's UFO catchers, a whole floor of gachapon. It has the most games machines of any arcade in the area. It also has tables for card games and a shop where you can buy starter decks. And the basement floor has nothing but Gundam game machines. Now everyone loved the old Sega arcades, but maybe this doesn't really change things that much. It used to be an arcade and now it is still an arcade, just run by a different company. I did find the newer arcades have a bit of a different feel. They feel a bit brighter and a little bit more cleaned up compared to the older arcades. Next is something for the future. Plans have been approved for the first casino in Japan. Now, many forms of gambling aren't allowed in Japan. That's why at pachinko parlours you win balls, then you go to a separate establishment next door to swap them for prizes. So this is quite controversial. It's going to be part of a new complex in Osaka opening in 2029. Because casinos are new to Japan, to stop gambling addiction, Japanese residents will have to pay a fee for every 24 hours they spend at the resort of 6,000 yen, and there'll be a limit on the number of visits. And I'm wondering, does this mean Osaka will become the Vegas of Japan? Tell me what you think in the comments. Next, Shibuya Sky has just reopened their rooftop bar for the summer, so you can enjoy the spectacular view of Tokyo while you're having a drink or two with music from DJs. The rooftop of Shibuya Sky is huge with 360-degree views of Tokyo. I really enjoyed it. If you're scared of heights, it might not be for you because it is very high up and the walls are well, there is no ceiling, but floor to ceiling glass walls, so it might be a bit much if you don't like heights. I will have a video about it so you can see exactly what it's like. You can reserve a sofa at the bar in advance with a drinks package, or you can just get a normal ticket for Shibuya Sky and walk up to the bar and get a drink. It could be busy. When I was there, even though it was the off season, the times around sunset were booked up even from the morning. So it could be worth getting a ticket online in advance, especially if you're going at the weekend or a busy time. Another tip is because you're so high up and it's open air, it can be very windy up there. In the summer, it's probably quite refreshing in the hot weather, but I'd recommend not wearing a skirt or a dress like I did. Next, we've heard of theme cafes, but did you know there could also be theme onsen? A hot spring bathhouse is hosting a pop-up with one of my favourites, Pui Pui Molcar. It's just the cutest. The collaboration is with Gokuraku-yu, which is a chain with bathhouses all around Japan. There's actually one right next to Sanrio Puroland. I didn't even realise bathhouses had collaborations or special pop-up events. There's special towels, curtains and banners at the baths with the Molcar characters on them. It'll be the cutest bath ever. There's limited edition merch and special food and drinks in the cafe. I'm wondering, what are the clouds made of in this fluffy carbonara? Now, this is the first I've heard of a themed onsen, but the same chain is also doing a collab at the moment with the anime Tokyo Revengers. I don't know that anime at all, so I don't know the relevance, but on the menu for that one, they've got a dessert called Dog Pea Peach Parfait. I think I'll stick to Pui Pui Molcar. So that brings us on to pop-up theme cafes, which I'm making a regular feature of Japan news. It can be quite tricky to find out about them, so I thought I'd do a roundup for you. There's a Disney Plus cafe in Roppongi at Roppongi Hills Mori Tower. The menu's themed around several Disney films: Fantasia, The Lion King, Tangled, Moana and Frozen. Maybe the food isn't that themed, but it does look nice. They've got themed plates and they've done more than just stick a picture of the characters in the meals. And this frozen parfait does look impressive. That's on until the end of August in collaboration with an exhibition at the Art Gallery, also at Roppongi Hills Mori Tower, called Disney Animation Immersive Experience. It has projections on the walls and the floor to bring you into the world of the films. And it has bubbles. I had always wondered why Disney World didn't have a TeamLab style immersive projection experience. I think it would work really well. And that's not all I've got for you with a Disney theme. There's also a Toy Story pop-up cafe in Osaka, Tokyo and Nagoya at Oh My Cafe, which always has pop-ups with a Disney theme. The Tokyo one is at Tokyu Plaza Omotesando Harajuku, which is that mall on the crossroads with all the mirrors. It's on until the 9th of July, and Osaka and Nagoya are on until the 18th of June. It looks really well themed, like Andy's bedroom, with lots of places to take photos. The food is really themed too. There's pasta decorated like Woody's waistcoat, with bread like the sole of his boot with Andy's name written on it, and there's a cowgirl barbecue chicken sandwich in bright red like her plait. Disney are really going for it with the theme cafes this time. The last one is Wonder Movie Cafe in Omotesando Hills. That one has the theme of making movies to celebrate 100 years of the Walt Disney Company. There's subtle and not so subtle Mickey details on the meals, and the cafe's themed like a cinema. That's on until the 25th of June. It says that's the first period and the second and third period are to be announced, so it might be back after that. Next is a pop-up cafe with Mofu-san and Sanrio characters. Now, you might not know Mofu-san, but I saw them everywhere in Japan. This cat character was in all the shops, all the UFO catchers. It's really popular at the moment. In this one, the cat's dressed up as various Sanrio characters like Kuromi and My Melody. The Tokyo one's almost finished on the 7th of May, and the Osaka one's open until the 28th of May. There's also a Sanrio collab at JS Burgers Cafe and JS Pancake Cafe, which ends later on in May. The theme for this one is an American-style diner and strawberries. I like these banana juice drinks and the milkshakes, which have jelly at the bottom for some reason. They have Sanrio characters printed on the top. And in Tokyo on the 11th of June, there'll be a Sanrio festival at Big Sight, the exhibition hall in Odaiba. They'll be announcing the results of the Sanrio character ranking for this year. There'll be performances and the characters will be having a kind of sports day, which should be interesting. I don't think any of them would be particularly fast runners. And if you want to vote for your favourite character to win, the Sanrio character ranking is open now. You can vote online at ranking.sanrio.co.jp. As always, my vote goes to Gudetama. And finally, in Sanrio news, there's a Sanrio dessert buffet at the Hilton Tokyo. Sometimes hotels have these fancy dessert buffets. There's lots of colourful cakes and tarts, like this spotty mousse cake, and this beautiful bouquet of flowers drink. And some savoury dishes, but who cares about them? It's on until the end of August 2023. And over at the Hilton in Tokyo Bay, there's a Milky Way dessert buffet, which looks just as fancy, but with a galaxy theme. That one's on weekends and holidays from the 24th of June to the 27th of August. And you can have a Pikachu afternoon tea at the Strings Hotel in Omotesando until the 3rd of July. The theming looks perfect. There's even a chocolate Pokeball dessert and a fruit mocktail with Pikachu ears. So cute. Now there is already a permanent Kirby cafe in Tokyo, but they've just also opened a takeaway cafe called Kirby Cafe Petite in Tokyo and Osaka. Both locations of the new takeaway cafe are all about desserts and sweets. They look very cute. The Tokyo one's in Character Street in Tokyo Station, which is an underground street with lots of cute character merch shops. I made a video about it. If you go there, watch out because it is quite hard to find. You need to go underground and follow signs to First Avenue. Now, you might know Rainbowholic from Instagram. She's a really creative person who posts about Japan travel, gachapon, and she's really into cute stationery and journaling. And she's just opened a shop in Tokyo. I was lucky to see the announcement about it on my last day in Tokyo, so I went along. It's got all the cute stationery, you will want to buy everything, and I love the way it's decorated. And they serve melon soda floats. It's very close to Ikebukuro in Jujo Ginza, which I'd never heard of before, but it's a shopping street right by Jujo Station, which is only 5 minutes from Ikebukuro, so do go along if you're in the area. Next is a Barbie exhibition in Tokyo. The theme is Who Do You Want to Be? And it's about all the jobs Barbie's had over the years. It looks quite small, but it is free. It's at Itochu SDG Studio in Tokyo near Aoyama Ichome Station until the 2nd of July. And I can only imagine the events and pop-up theme cafes there'll be when the Barbie movie comes out this summer. So much pink. Next, the Tokyo SkyTree will be cosplaying as Disney characters this May, June and July to celebrate 100 years of the Walt Disney Company. There'll be special lighting inspired by the characters. It's quite subtle. I don't think you'd realise it's Disney characters unless you knew. And inside the SkyTree, there'll be special photo spots and exhibition panels about Disney. Next, if you love Studio Ghibli, as well as the park, museum and shops, there's another thing for your itinerary, a special exhibition that will be touring around Japan. It's starting in Tokyo at Warehouse Terada on Tenozu Isle from 29th of June to the 24th of September. It's near Shinagawa on the Rinkai line which goes to Odaiba. They'll have sets so you can enter the world of the films, and I'm sure you can take lots of great photos. A special thing is Ghibli's magic lantern projecting images around the walls. It looks very whimsical and very Studio Ghibli. I'm sure it'll be busy, so book a ticket in advance if you can. As well as tickets just for the exhibition, there's also combined tickets with the Ghibli Museum in Tokyo, and there's special packages with a couple of hotels, so if you stay there, you can visit the exhibition whenever you want during your stay. Now, you might remember previously on Japan News, the observation deck park in Ikebukuro, which was the Sky Circus, had closed to be renovated. Well, that's now reopened as Sunshine 60 Observatory. It's a much calmer, more relaxing spot. It's decorated like an outdoor park with fake grass and plants, so you can relax anywhere you like. There's even a fake fire pit. There's also a cafe and lots of nice spots to enjoy the view. That's in Sunshine City Shopping Mall. Next, if you miss the kawaii monster cafe that used to be in Harajuku, its creator Sebastian Masuda is opening a sushi restaurant, not in Japan, but in New York City this summer. It's going to be called Sushidelic. It looks like it'll be really fun, pink and kawaii. So far the previews show these big colourful cats, and the staff will be dressed amazingly, just like at the Monster Cafe. They've actually been recruiting staff recently, so if you live in New York, this could be an opportunity for you. Next, if you're a fan of TeamLabs, there's a new installation near Tokyo at Tokorozawa, which is just over 20 minutes on the train from Ikebukuro. It's outside with these organic sculptures in a forest. It looks best at night when they're all lit up. There's definitely not as much going on here as at TeamLab Planets or the other outdoor park in Osaka, but it's likely to be quieter because it's slightly away from central Tokyo. And if you're going to Kyushu, there's a unique TeamLab exhibition at Takeo Onsen, which is where you change trains to get onto the new Shinkansen line to Nagasaki. It's at Mifuneyama Rakuen Hotel, and it's called TeamLab Ruins and Heritage. They've taken over some old ruined bathhouses. It looks really atmospheric. It's set in a forest that you can walk around, and there's also the TeamLab lamps installation in the lobby of the hotel. The hotel has an onsen. It has some really unusual modern looking spa rooms and baths. So that's an idea for somewhere to stay on your tour of Kyushu. A few people have been asking me about TeamLab Borderless, which is closed at the moment. It will be reopening later this year in its new location in Toranomon Azabudai, which is more central in Tokyo. We don't yet have a date. My guess is it will be quite late this year because they haven't said anything yet about when it's going to be. But for now, while that's closed, TeamLab Planets is open until the end of 2023. I really enjoyed it. There'll be a video coming up, so subscribe if you want to catch that. Next, there's a new Pikachu aeroplane to look out for at Haneda Airport. It's owned by ANA and it'll be flying from the 4th of June onwards. And it's going to be on international routes, including routes to Honolulu and Sydney. Here's all the flight numbers if you want to try and book it. I love how they have so many planes decorated in fun ways. I've seen the Star Wars planes at the airport in Japan before, and they also have these turtle planes that fly to Hawaii. So that's it for now from Japan News. We've had a games arcade with a canned food cafe, the SkyTree cosplaying as Disney characters, and the cutest hot springs. Let me know if you're planning to go to any of these places. There'll be more from Japan News coming up in a couple of months, and lots more Japan travel vlogs. They'll be every other week on Thursdays, or maybe every week if I have time. If you turn on notifications, it'll tell you when there's a new video. So I'll see you soon. Bye bye.